Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert from Europe Hotel School, and it's a pleasure to guide you on your online learning journey. Now, if you're studying hospitality, the decisions you make about technology, well, they're going to define your entire career. In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about AI in the abstract. We are going to build a practical blueprint that you can use to turn any hotel into a smart, efficient, and truly guest-focused powerhouse. So, let's get started. So where do we begin? Well, first, we're going to take a trip into what I call the tech jungle. That's the messy reality of disconnected systems that are plaguing most hotels today. Then I'll show you how to map it all out with an essential AI audit. From there, we'll learn how to build digital bridges using something called APIs, figure out how to choose the right AI partner, and finally, pull it all together into one intelligent ecosystem. Think of this as your step-by-step guide. All right, let's start with a little reality check. You walk into a hotel, you see the polished lobby, the smiling staff, but what you don't see is what's running underneath. And in most hotels, that's a hidden tech jungle, a chaotic, tangled mess of systems that are seriously holding them back. To navigate this jungle, you first have to map it out. And that map is what we call your tech stack. Now, put simply, this is just the entire collection of all the software and all the hardware that powers your hotel's day-to-day operations. We're talking everything from the front desk to housekeeping to revenue management. You know, the single biggest trap in this whole jungle is something called the data silo. This is what happens when your systems just don't talk to each other. So imagine your guests' booking information is on one little digital island, and their loyalty profile is on a completely separate one. You can never see the whole picture of who they are. And this fragmentation, it doesn't just crush your efficiency, it makes true personalized service pretty much impossible. So, how do we even begin to clear a path through this mess? Well, that leads us to the most critical, the most non-negotiable first step of all, the essential AI audit. And let me be clear, this isn't optional. This is what you absolutely must do before you even think about spending a single dollar on new tech. And I really want to drive this point home. Before you even look at a shiny new AI tool, you have to conduct an internal AI readiness audit. You got to understand what you already have before you can possibly decide what you need. It's all about building on a solid foundation, not on shaky ground. The entire point of this audit really boils down to answering these key questions. You're just trying to figure out if your most critical systems, your PMS and your CRM, can actually communicate with each other. Asking if they have an open API is really just a technical way of asking, can we build a bridge between them? Because if they can't share data freely and securely, any new AI tool you buy is going to be isolated and pretty much useless from day one. That term I just mentioned, API, that is the absolute key. So let's move on and see exactly how we can use them to build bridges over those data silos we talked about, connecting all your information for truly intelligent action. Now, don't let the technical name Application Programming Interface intimidate you. Just think of an API as a kind of universal translator or a secure digital bridge. It's the little piece of software that lets your property management system talk to your new AI pricing tool or your CRM talk to your marketing platform, and it does it all automatically and instantly. So here's how it actually works in practice. A guest checks in, and their information goes into the property management system. Right away, the API acts like a bridge, securely zipping that data over to your new AI tool. That tool can then take an immediate, intelligent action. Maybe it adjusts the pricing for the last few rooms or triggers a personalized welcome message to the guest's phone. The key here is that it's all automated. Nobody is manually copying and pasting information from one screen to another. Okay, so once your internal house is in order and your systems are actually ready to connect, it's time to look outward. And this brings us to the really critical process of selecting your AI partner. Trust me, choosing the right vendor is just as important as the technology itself. I want you to pay very close attention to this quote. In fact, I want you to burn this into your memory for your entire career. A tool that requires staff to manually move data is not an AI solution. It is a new burden. If a new piece of technology creates more work for your team, it has failed, period. That should be your number one rule when you're choosing any technology partner. So here's a simple three-part framework you can always use. First, are they hospitality-centric? Do they actually get how a hotel works? The seasonality, the inventory, all of it? Second, can they prove seamless integration? And don't just take their word for it. Make them show you a live demo with your actual systems. And third, is it scalable? Is this solution going to work if you expand from one hotel to 10? These are the non-negotiable questions you have to ask. And this brings us to our final section, where all of these different pieces really start to come together. You see, your choices will lead you down one of two paths. You're either going to create a tangled mess of technical debt, or you're going to forge a powerful, intelligent ecosystem that becomes a true strategic asset. The contest here just couldn't be clearer. I mean, look at the left side. That's technical debt. Your team is stressed out, your systems are fragmented, and you're just adding more complexity. Now look at the right. That's an intelligent ecosystem, a unified platform that leads to better guest experiences, smarter decisions, and real sustainable growth. That's the goal. And that really brings us to the ultimate goal here. This isn't just about buying fancy software. It's about building a single, unified ecosystem where every single part works together in harmony to serve two masters, the hotel's bottom line, and most importantly, the guest. And that leaves us with this final question. As you move into leadership roles in this incredible industry, the decisions you make about technology are going to define your hotel's future. So I have to ask you, will you be someone who inherits and just adds to a tech burden? Or will you be the architect of a true strategic asset? The choice is yours.